But to get right to it, there is no immediate update on Marcus Johansson's potential availability for Friday night's game against the Oilers. The Devils listed him with an upper body issue after slamming face headfirst into the backboards 57 seconds into Wednesday night's 2-0 win over the Canucks at Vancouver. Coach John Hynes said he was held out for precautionary reasons and will be re-evaluated on Thursday. The suspicion can only be that he was being tested for a concussion. Still, with Brian Boyle back in the lineup after being diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia at the start of training camp, the Devils, at 9-2-0, are not only off to the best start in franchise history, but, at 5-0-0, are the only NHL team to have picked up all the possible points so far on the road. Well, it's nice to see the guys get rewarded for a lot of hard work, Devils coach John Hynes said. As we said going into training camp, it's how we wanted to play and the work ethic we wanted to have. We've been able to find some ways to win some games early. That's nice. But I think we want to try to continue to build an identity and continue to get stronger and stronger as the year goes on. Truth be told, this one was no masterpiece. In fact, the result was almost solely the result of Corey Schneider playing one of his top 3 games of the young season and making 37 saves, 13 each in the second and third periods, when the Canucks dictated play. I felt like we had our legs, right-wing Jimmy Hayes said. It was more like execution. We were skating well, but I think it's one of those things where we've just got to get pucks in and be heavier on pucks. There were a lot of 50-50 battles, including myself, where we were not getting pucks in and playing into their transition game. Here are some post-game observations. 1. Obviously, the big story, the national story, from this game, is Boyle's return, and we'll get to more of that in a minute. But Schneider's performance cannot be understated here. The Devils really had no business coming out of this game with a win. But Schneider, re-teamed with goalie coach Roland Mielenson, after they had worked together with the Canucks, has refound the technical simplicity that makes him one of the NHL's better goaltenders. The Canucks were frustrated because many of their shots went right into the Devils logo on Schneider's jersey. That just means Schneider was square to the puck all night. Plus, there was a scarcity of rebounds for the Canucks to pounce on. It was Schneider's first shutout against his former team, but he is now 6-1-0 against the Canucks and has won 3 straight games at Vancouver. I always love playing in this city, this building, Schneider said. I always felt comfortable and at home here. They're a good team. They throw a lot of pucks to the net. They jump in the rush. Sometimes teams like that are fun to play because you know it's coming and you're just in it all night. For me, I felt good about my game. I felt it was time for me to spin a game like this and give my teammates some help and play well and not force them to have to score 4 or 5 goals. It's a good way to start the trip. And the caveat, we've got to be better next game. 2. Boyle helped the Devils. His big body was able to take the puck several times along the walls, and he was blocking shots, too, in the third period. He logged 15-19, spread just about evenly around 5 minutes per period, blocked 2 shots and won 6 of 9 faceoffs. Asked if he got emotional for his return, Boyle said, rather somberly, just for warm-ups. It had just been a while. I tried not to think too much about it. In between warm-up and the first period, I was thinking about all that we had been through with my wife and the kids since last February. It's been kind of a roller coaster since then. It's nice to get back as quickly as I could. It would have been nice to have them here because they've been through the whole thing with me. I don't think I could have played tonight. It would have taken much longer without the support of my family, my wife, my parents and everybody else that's reached out. The guys in here the last 6 weeks, whether they know it or not, from Ray, Shiro, on down, it's been a tremendous boost of energy for me and motivation to get back and play as well as I can and be in the best shape I could be. Since February, Boyle has been traded from the Lightning to the Maple Leafs, been a free agent, moved his family from Florida, back to Massachusetts and then, finally to New Jersey, and obviously been diagnosed with leukemia. 3. Pretty sure Steven Santini has become the Devils' best all-around defenseman. The growth in the steadiness of his game has been a real positive so far this season. 4. Blake Coleman just contributes every game. Against the Canucks, he won 12 of 17 faceoffs and he logged 17-11 with the Devils down to 11 forwards. 5. Taylor Hall, 2 more assists. He's now with 2 goals and 9 assists in his last 6 games. And you can just bet he'd love to put up some big numbers against the Oilers. 6. Despite what comes off as a feel-good win, there should be some unease around this team despite a 3-game winning streak. This game, as mentioned, was the direct result of Schneider's play. The Devils blew a 2-goal lead in the final 75 seconds against the Senators before winning 5-4 in a shootout, and needed to rally in the third period for a 4-3 win against a then-winless Coyotes club. The record is good for the Devils. Their play needs to be better, obviously. 7. So, winter is here. At least for the Devils as they go to Alberta. Both Edmonton and Calgary are expected to have sub-freezing temperatures with snow in the forecast. I love breaking out the winter jacket day into November. That is sarcasm. 8. Practice scheduled for 1:15 p.m. local time, so 3:15 back east. On Thursday it's Rogers Place in Edmonton. Not really expecting a definitive update on Johansson, but we'll ask.